There we go.
There's music in the most crude of instruments. And when that line came to me, I knew that was the language of this play. And I had to trust myself that I could create in that world and not really care what people were going to say, right? So I want you guys to know that you don't even have to express anything the way that I've expressed it. You can do it your own damn way, and that's okay. Because if you're brave enough to put it out there, somebody will be brave enough to go into your world, right?
My name's Devontae, and I love reading. My favorite part of it is when we had an actor come in.
I wanted that when I was younger, you know? Yeah. I never had that. I never had that until I found that myself, and then I went crazy with it, right? And then I dropped everything and I said it's all about understanding myself and how my expression of that is going to be. But I want the next version of me to be better than me, as long as he acknowledges that I'm here. But I want him to be better than me because he's learning from my steps, right?
When I read the book, I thought it was pretty interesting and funny. I liked the part when Joseph was acting, like going into character.
The words were hitting them, and I had a dude to my left, and he just took the book right out of my hands, and that was like a blessing to me. You know, that made my night, because the idea that something can touch someone, and I always felt like, you know, from the ages of like 9, 10, 11, 12, that's when you really need to start talking to youth, like seriously, and not treat them as little kids, because they're already seeing things. So for him to gravitate towards the book, that made a lot. At another point, you know, there's a young female, and she just started opening up about what I had read, but the way that she was opening up, it was like she was telling her own monologue, and the story was building, and you can feel a depth and conviction in what she was saying, and I was like, you know, that really hit me, because what I try to get across is that we all have stories, you know. You might be intimidated to write something down, but if the story is in you, you take the time to get it down. Don't be intimidated about the writing process. It's all about being true to your story and how you're being moved, and that occurred. And then I had a young man who shared a real personal story with me. And it's moments like that that you really appreciate why you write, you know, as a writer. And those are the moments that make me want to write, you know, again, to work on my next story. So the night was nothing like I expected, but it was more than I expected at the end.
___.
You don't want to be found. We know about you. That's why your hat's so low. Okay.
So far, I feel it have a great impact on who they are. I noticed that they come early, you know, start asking about what time the program's going to start. You know, some of them didn't bring back their permission form. They were worried if they, you know, going to be able to be in the program without the permission form. They also bring a new friend, and they're like, can my friend join without a permission form, and we'll get it back to you next week or anytime next week. So you can see there's a big interest of, you know, learning about Living Black Genius. As this week Tuesday, when you start off with talking about Living Black Genius, I heard one young man was talking about his mom as his Black Genius. So Living Black Genius. So that tells you how much they admire people of genius that have an impact in their life.
Alright, so the reason why we did this activity is because for anybody who creates something, you need content. What does content mean? You need inspiration, you need information, you need something that's going to inspire you.
What I mostly like about Living Black Genius is not only we talk about serious things. When we talk about serious things, we can turn it into an activity also. We do a lot of activities in Living Black Genius that are really fun.
Today facilitating for Living Black Geniuses, and it was really awesome to meet all of these incredible young people. They ask good questions. They let you know when they're bored, so you got to mix it up and make sure that you keep it interesting. And it reminded me of my old life when I used to do a lot of this type of work, and how much energy and inspiration you can get from young people who are so honest and so brave. And keep it real with you all the time. So I'm glad that I came.
One memorable moment that I had with Living Black Genius was, I remember when basically we had this talk about what we would do if a police ever stopped an African American person and what we would do if they've ever stopped you just for no reason.
Within this particular video, I was talking about an issue called carding. Have any of you heard this word, carding? Does anybody have a sense of what it is exactly? Does one want to give?
Living Black Genius has a lot of nice people coming. They every other Friday, they bring new people in here and talk to them. Like last time we had a lawyer come here. We talked about how he became a lawyer and what he does, what he specializes in. And he taught us our rights in case any police officer starts to card us, so we know what to do. And yeah, and I personally think Living Black Genius is really good because it teaches us a lot of things that we don't really know yet.
The chances and the opportunities, the prospect of you living the kind of life that you want, it really does start with the things that you see every day in class. Going to class, doing your homework, staying on top of your work, trying to be responsible, learning those skills that you can develop through schooling and developing those habits that will help you not just in school but in everything you do when you're in the workforce.
Living Black Genius is really helpful. The program taught me a lot of things that I actually never knew.
The group was really great, really engaged, and asked some very challenging and interesting questions that even made me go back and think through everything that I know in some respects. So I enjoyed that very much.
So I'm an actor and I'm a TV host. And I went to school in Etobicoke, to high school, and I decided I wanted to be an actor when I was 12 because I did the school play and I really liked it. So I was like a shy, nervous kid. And so like if you have like a dream right now that you want to be a famous actor and you have some other skill you're working on, like you play piano or you're dancing or play sports or whatever, like practice hard.
And we meet a lot of other people too, like that lady that came from the next step. She's not really into it, like the dancer. She's like a judge for them. And she's been on a lot of TV shows telling the stories about how she originated and came to this place right now and how she got her job and what the steps she went through to get that.
My name is Natasha Parson. I am a freelance dance instructor and choreographer. I teach primarily contemporary African Caribbean. I trained for years at Ballet Creole. It's my primary source of training. I also went to the Etobicoke School of the Arts as a dance major. Basically been doing this type of dance my life.
I really liked it because some of the moves were kind of hard for me, but it's good to have a challenge. And I really like this program, Living Black Genius. I especially like the trips so far that we went on, like to that theater, Black Men's in Theater. I really like most of the plays that were going on, and yeah.
In there today with the kids, I did some traditional West African movement from a dance called Kuku, which was about celebrating the return of the fishermen to the village and the bounty that they received from the sea. So we did a lot of traditional foundational movements, the knee bounces, to get them grounded into the floor. They made the connections, I could see them making the connections to the hip hop dance and to the popular dance movements, dancehall dance movements that they are familiar with.
It's very interesting and fun, and we get to do fun activities, and people come in like to do dancing.
Coming to this program, it's really the first time I got to work with kids and teach them in this kind of hands-on manner. It's usually reserved for people who are more in restaurants, and so it was very interesting for me to kind of see the different levels of kids, because you have some who, again, who are more about the eating than the cooking part. Then you get others who are really hands-on, really want to be part of everything. Like Mariah, who I was working with earlier today, she was hands-on for a few different dishes and she really enjoyed it. She likes cooking at home, so it was really good to teach her some things and kind of get her inspiration back as well.
I like cooking. I cook at home sometimes, and it's fun, very fun. I got to chop up the vegetables.
I keep on falling in love of love with you. I never lost someone the way I love you. The program was nice. I get to talk about my own culture and stuff, because at my school we didn't talk a lot about Black History Month. I don't know, I like it because we talk a lot and I get to reflect off of it. We have fun activities and there's lots of kids that I get to bond with and stuff.
In Africa, you don't speak English, right? So there is nothing named base. And in a country, there are many villages. with many different languages. And sometimes they can't communicate using their language. So they would just use the language of the drum. Hello, my name is Mikael Parson. I've been playing from since I was about 2 years old. I'm from Trinidad. This experience with this group here has been wonderful. I enjoy teaching these kids. They're very good listeners and learners. These words, living black genius, I think about my people, our people, doing it, still alive, and doing everything right and smart. That's what I think about us, doing it the right way and showing a different side of ourselves. I love this experience coming here and working with these guys. I think it was important for these kids in this group to get a little bit of culture and understand where some of our ancestry comes from and like the music that we do and how it relates to the music that we play now.
I enjoyed role playing and acting.
And now the image comes alive. What are you doing?
I like doing the exercise activities because they were fun and we get to make our own games and bring it to the group.
My name is Jarrell and I'm a living black genius and I'm going to show you how to do that. You get better at go spring. Bridge and you flip over like this. Just like that. I think Natasha and Amanda are really nice and caring people who were very helpful to us, and when we did activities they would always inform us on what we were doing so we weren't left in the dark.
The reason why I feel like Living Black Genius was a good partnership for Ray is because at Ray we're here to promote positive and safe space for youth self-expression, right? And I feel like Living Black Genius is the exact kind of manifestation of what we're trying to do here. So through the expression of art, right? And I find that it didn't appeal only to Black youth entering the space because a lot of our youth are of mixed race. I feel like they could relate to the material outside of, being Black or identifying only with their Blackness, because again, art is about self-expression. One of the things I really liked about the program is that not only did it, bring excellent facilitators in to show us their craft and kind of teach the kids how they can develop in those ways as well, but I feel like you guys also took us out of the space and kind of showed us that in real life. You're learning theory, but you're also seeing that application in real life, and that's one of the things I really valued about the program. And I think the kids really valued that as well because they don't necessarily have that those types of experiences all the time. It's a lot of theory, but we want to see it in play.
Hey there, my name is Dr. Caleb Harrison Wright, but you could call me Harrison. I'm a future scientist. Do you think it's possible to hold fire in your hand without being burned? Nothing's impossible with science. I'm gonna light this on fire and it won't burn me or the paper. Well, of course, I'm gonna need something to light it on fire. Well, I don't smoke, so does anyone have a lighter? Anybody? What's your name? Shamba. You know you could smoke it. Anyhow, can I have a light, please? Oh, for sure. See this? Ooh, why did you do that? That's so cool. And I'm not even getting burned. And I feel a little hot. Here, wanna hold it?
Oh my god, look. It's fire. Duh.
Wow.
It's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. I love the fact that it taught us learning is cool and that getting an education wouldn't change who I am. Want to learn how to take it out?
Yes.
Clap your hand like that, but it would actually allow me to find who I am. It's out. Science is amazing.
What?
Stay in school, kids.
Baba is Swahili for associates of God, and it was just like saying like about like God and singing about God, and like Swahili like talking about like farming and like how he supported them.
Living Black Genius.
Living Black Genius.
Living Black Genius.
Living Black Genius.
I'm a living Black genius, and I want to finish law school one day.
I am a living Black genius. I will go to the University of Toronto and I will publish my own book.
I'm a living Black genius. I'm going to be a scientist.
I'm a living Black genius, and I will achieve my goal of being a professional basketball player in the NBA.
I'm a living Black genius and I will accomplish every single challenge I get.
I am a living Black genius and I will be famous.
I'm a living Black genius and I want to be a pilot.
I'm a living Black genius and I will change the world.
Living Black genius. Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord, love. Hearts are full like flowers before thee.